Okay, so imagine you're a world leader and you're called into an urgent emergency meeting with your top advisors, and they need you to make a choice. They offer you door number one or door number two. Behind door number one, a raging viral pandemic that rips through your country, infecting half the population and killing off 1% of everyone. It then overwhelms the healthcare system, leading to a massive avoidable deaths, and may begin to imperil essential services as, say, workers that maintain the electrical grid all start to get sick. That's door number one. Behind door number two, well, there you have a near total cessation of all economic activity in your country, a full lockdown, and an economic disaster possibly on the scale of the Great Depression that puts millions out of work, plunges millions into poverty, and lasts for an undetermined period of time. Not great choices. And we've seen over the course of this pandemic, it's played out. A number of countries have basically, their leadership has tried to avoid choosing until they end up being pushed through door one, a spiraling outbreak that's so sudden and terrifying. They then try to scramble back to go through door two. That is what China did to a certain extent, hiding the virus, censoring information, cracking down on people who talked about it until it became too big to ignore, and then putting tens of millions of people under lockdown, hundreds of millions under strict quarantine and travel restrictions. Italy delayed in hopes it wouldn't be so bad until it got out of hand, and they are now on lockdown, seeing nearly 500 new deaths just today. Boris Johnson in the UK first suggested that they were going to go the herd immunity route and let the virus do its thing before he reversed course. The Trump administration had the time and the benefit to learn from countries that went before, but repeated the same mistakes and even made new ones, failing at testing in a way that really no other country has. And so now here we are, with the outbreak growing exponentially and the economy plunging into a recession, if not a depression. But if we adhere to social distancing, we stay home, we reduce the potential of transmission and flatten the curve, here's the thing. There's only so long we can keep America in a kind of lockdown. That is not a sustainable solution in the medium term. So, what if there's a third door? What if with enough state capacity and mobilization and leadership and ingenuity, you can create a society that battles a virus, tracks and suppresses it while also allowing something near normal life to continue? Some countries seem to have sledgehammered their way through to creating a door number three just like that. So we're going to talk about what that is, what the other side of this might look like next.